Hello lads and ladies, and welcome to this and welcome back for another video on the channel. Today we are back discussing Sky Bet League One. Now we are going to have a look at each team in the areas of either panic or excitement. We're going to predict our final top two, the teams in my playoffs, who's going to play who will win those playoffs, in my opinion, from now, and who will go down to Sky Bet League 2, the dreaded League 2. You know, Wrexham away, Salford away, potentially they're going to come up, Grimsby away, we don't want that. And then we're going to look at teams that are going to potentially be playing Southampton, could be Leicester, you know, Premier League champions of a few years ago as well. But that'll be no mean slouch for some of these League One boys. But if you're new to the channel, please like the video, subscribe down below. We do League One streams every week, Fleetwood vlogs every week, where Fleetwood normally get beat by other League One teams in the last minute. And we've also got League One videos like this as well. So get liking, get subscribing. We are truly back now with League One content. So at the bottom of the league, no surprise, Forest Green Rovers. 5 wins all season, 23 points. You know, it's not great. You know, you look at the record, you know, against most of the teams at this level as well. Against the top 6, only beating Bolton. And then they get battered. Your 3-0s, your 2-0s, your 4-0s. You know, 2-0 away at Plymouth the other day. And they were never really in the game. They haven't got quality. Duncan Ferguson's gone in there. Not really had the impact. They started the season really well with a win at Bristol Rovers. It just hasn't followed up ever since. Next up, we're going for Cambridge. Now, they're 30 points. They probably need around another 13 points from their remaining fixtures. You know, when you look at it, you know, their form of late, it's not great at all. They've taken 11 points from their last 63 available. That is 21 matches where they've taken 11 points. That is points per game, Forest Green Rovers style. And the way they're losing, you know, they've had a couple of draws in there against Morecambe, Lincoln recently as well. They did manage to draw at home to Ipswich as well, which could dent, you know, my top 3 predictions as well. They're just not getting the results they need. They started the season really well. They won the first 4 games at home this season. But ever since then, it's a downward spiral for the U's. Next up, I've gone for Accrington Stanley. Who are they? They have got some good fixtures coming up. But when you're losing games, not winning games, no fixtures are good in League One as well. No wins against any of the top 9 in League One. However, they've done the double over Shrewsbury and Bristol Rovers as high points. What will get them relegated is their disciplinary record. They've got the worst disciplinary record in the league, just above Fleetwood as well. 5 red cards in their last 7 games. Now, this doesn't just affect the game you're playing, which, you know, they're not winning games at the moment, but it also affects the games after when you're without key players and you're bringing in players that aren't quite as good. At Accrington, you're on limited resources. I think they will go down this year, but John Coleman is the man. If they were ever to return, he is the man to bring them back up to this league. And last, 21st, for the first time in their history, I've gone for Morecambe. I want teams to stay up with limited resources, limited budgets, but I just don't see where Morecambe are going to get enough points to stay up. They're at 34 points at this moment in time. They probably need another 10. They've got some difficult fixtures. MK Dons away. Their away record is shambolic, only 1 win all season away from home, coming away at Forest Green Rovers. And then you look at, again, the fixtures at home. Plymouth Argyle are coming up, which is always going to be a tough game as well. They've got games they can win. Obviously, they've got quality. Derek Adams is a good manager. But when you hear sometimes the stuff he says in the press and the way he sets his teams up, sometimes that isn't great when you need him to win games rather than draw them. That concludes my kind of bottom 4. So MK Dons, Burton, Cheltenham, Oxford, you know, your Port Vales all survive for another season in League One. At 6th, I've gone for Derby County. Yes, came down last season, cobbled a squad together. You know, lots of experience in that side, you know, your full side, your Curtis Davis, your David McGoldricks. It's a, you know, big squad, you know, powerful squad. I do think they'll get in the kind of the top 6. The reason why they're not higher or even my consideration for top 2, I think they're too many points short. Also, the record against, you know, the teams in the top 12 away from home this season isn't great. 5 defeats and 3 draws. At home, much better as well. You know, beating your Boltons, your Peterboroughs, your Wickhams all at home as well, which you want to see as well. They beat Barnsley at Pride Park as well, who are on an absolute roll at this moment in time. They've got a good manager in Paul Warne, which should see them into the Sky Bet League One playoffs. At 5th, I think Bolton will squeeze in. They haven't been great lately. A 22% rise in goals conceded in the last 8 games. They've got Wembley on the mind and they just need to get that game out of the way. So do Plymouth, in fairness. That game is good for the fans, for the players at this moment in time, and for the football clubs. I think they just want that game out of the way. Whoever wins it, wins it. Well done to whoever does. But they've got bigger things to fry, and that is promotion to the Championship, which is huge for both football clubs as well. Bolton have got fixtures coming up that are favourable, in my opinion. They're strong at home. They've got one of the best defences in League One as well. They've got a good manager in Ian Evatt, which should see them 5th in the playoffs. At 4th, it's going to surprise a few people. Now, I keep toying with my predictions. Like anyone, I'm like a woman, you know, about to go out or choosing what they want on the menu or what takeaway they want to. It keeps changing what I think of League One because results keep changing. I've gone for Ipswich Town to finish 4th. Now, there's no reason why they can't finish 2nd. They're only 2 points behind Plymouth. Now they are 5 points with a game in hand, with Plymouth beating Accrington on Tuesday night. You would hope that Ipswich would win their game in hand if they are serious about promotion. I reckon Ipswich would probably have to take... They probably can only drop maybe 4 points at the absolute max if they want to go up. I think there'll be 2 points between 4th and 2nd. That's how close it's going to be. Ipswich are on a roll. 7 consecutive clean sheets in there as well. 6 straight wins. Strong at home, strong away. They have got a difficult run in though. Barnsley away. They've got Derby coming up as well. It's a real difficult run in, but they've got the quality, and the supporters at Portman Road are one of the best in the country. So I mentioned that I think it'll be 2 points between. Bear in mind, I've got one team in mind to get 100 points. It probably won't work out like that. Let's be honest, it's not going to work out like that because predictions never work out, especially when they come from me. So just bet anything against what I've said. 3rd, I've gone for Barnsley. Now, unfortunately, 16 wins from the last 21 games will not be enough to get into my top 2. And that is bizarre. I just see Plymouth getting 20 points from the next kind of games coming up. And I see Wednesday getting a certain amount of points from their next games to squeeze into my top 2. Not quite giving away the order of just yet. And I just think it's going to be tight to the wire. You know, all teams are good, but Barnsley are phenomenal. They've got goals in, you know, your Phillips, your Devante Coles, your Norwood. They were excellent the other night, Barnsley. They've been excellent all season. They've had a couple of blips, but they've got that kind of organisation. Duff's had his stamp on the side, and I love that about that side. 2nd, Plymouth. I reckon they'll get between 18 and 20 points, which should be enough for top 2. If they get 100 points and miss out on the top 2, then fair play to whoever gets more, because Ipswich could go and get 100 points. Barnsley, in my opinion, they're 72 points now. They'll have to win every game to get that, but they're going to get close to your 90, 95 points to be in with a chance. But Plymouth, their home record, they have beaten everyone in the top 12, bar Fleetwood, at home this season. That is phenomenal stat. You know, only Port Vale have gone there and won at home park this season. And the record away from home is pretty decent as well. Barnsley did beat them as well. They got a draw away at Portman Road. So the record against the sides they're competing against isn't too bad as well. Obviously, again, they just keep battling and battling and battling. It's going to come down to a little bit of luck, who can hold the nerve, and Plymouth will learn from last year. Same amount of points as this time last year, and with 8 games less, 80 points from 38 games, over 2 points a game. If they can average that, they should go up. So winning the league is Sheffield Wednesday. They went 23 games unbeaten. Again, a disappointing draw at home to Bolton. And that's what you get when you set the standards you've done. And then a disappointing defeat to Barnsley. Forest Green Rovers on Sunday, that's a must-win game, because all of a sudden, if you don't win it, you've gone 3 games without a win. It's against 2 promotion rivals and a team that are the worst team in League One at the moment. If you look at it like, they're the 68th worst team in the Football League. So Sheffield Wednesday needs to go there with a plan to win the game. I think they will, and I think they'll go up. And he goes by the name of Gregory. He's scoring goals again. And, I think it's 2-2 for him now again. He's been much better. He got into the box. He's looking lively. He's looking fitter again as well. They've got service from midfield. Malik Wilkes should be back by the end of the year. You've got Barry Bannon, pulling the strings as well. They shouldn't be ridiculed for the defeat to Barnsley. Barnsley should be praised. Wednesday should be praised on a great unbeaten run. It was always going to come to an end. It always was. But they've got to get over that line now. They've got 8 to go. 10 to go. 2 games in hand on Plymouth. You've just got to think of getting a win. That's all you've got to do, and they'll do it. So I've got Wednesday to win the league, Plymouth to get 2nd, Barnsley 3rd, Ipswich 4th, Bolton 5th, and of course Derby County 6th. But who will win those playoffs at this moment? It's so hard to predict. And the good thing is, I've got Barnsley to play Derby, and I've got Ipswich to play Bolton. Now, Ipswich, 4 points from Bolton this season. Barnsley played Derby, a win each as well. It's going to be a real tough battle if they are the playoffs, and that'll be a great watch. It really will. All 4 teams, phenomenal fan bases, and phenomenal managers, in my opinion. I can just see nothing but an Ipswich Barnsley playoff final. Now, I think the disappointment of those 2 teams will be hard to take, but they're in the final, and the form Barnsley are on, I just see them nicking it against Ipswich in the playoffs, unfortunately for the Tractor Boys. The run Barnsley are on, you get a team every year in League One that come flying into the playoffs and just have that bit of extra confidence, but Ipswich are on a great run as well. Will that happen? Probably not, but at this moment in time, they are my predictions. Get yours in the comments down below. Do we agree? Let me know. But if you are new to the channel, please like the video. Please subscribe, turn notifications on if you want more League One content like this. Thank you so much for watching. There's lots more to come before now and the end of the season, and at the end of the season as well. So much football to be played, so much content to be made. Until next time, I've been Cod's Vlogs. See you in the next one.